Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you part 75 of Uchiha Naruto the Sage. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also stay in tune because after this I'm going to be posting Naruto, the God of Shinobi. And I hope you guys enjoy all of these what ifs coming your way. And also, if you're new, go ahead and check out Anime King, my main channel, where you can enjoy over 600 what ifs. And if you do enjoy them, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and be a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. So I posted a new episode of What If Tsunade was Naruto's mother. And I also posted a new episode of What If Kurama gave Naruto a dojutsu. So check out those and enjoy. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And remember to go ahead and comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying and talking back to all of you. So without further ado, let's get straight into this. So the last time we left off, the Stone Village is still recovering after Naruto's last attack, where he cut the village in half and he killed Oniki, as Kurasake is now the new Kage of the village. Naruto also went to the hideout, where Madara brought him when he was younger, as he killed Spiral Zetsu. Hearing that Spiral Zetsu is planning something with Obito that he brought back to life, to live in Konoha in pain and suffering. But over the time, his resentment towards Obito is slowly fading away. Naruto then surprised Mei as he told her that he has a daughter with Samui. As Mei was pissed when she heard that, to hear that Naruto has a child, as that is why she never saw Samui in the palace. Even though Naruto said that she was here, Naruto kept Samui away in the dimension so that she would be safe with their daughter. He then went and tell Uchiha, who was pissed as well, as this could have been her life with Naruto, that could have been her child. So Naruto introduced his daughter to the loyal subject of his capital, as he told Heisuke and the other to move in, so they can watch over his daughter and Samui. So yeah guys, that was basically the last part we left off. You guys can switch across the playlist and check it out for yourself. So let's start this new episode. Currently, Gaara and Temaru was called, as they were sitting down at a large table. They were the main part of the royal guards. As they arrived early, the door then opened, as Mei, Guren and Conan and the four generals walked in. As Gaara saw that Mei wasn't her happy cheerful self, but he didn't think twice about it, as they exchanged greetings before the emperor arrived. As he was sitting on the seat, as everyone turned and faced him, his eye was closed. As he snapped it open, his other eye was being covered by his hair. As he then spoke, Kodoro, he said, as Guren looked at him, as she wondered what happened. He's acting away when they first met. Just by hearing his voice, she could know that something changed. Kodoro then cleared his throat as he speak. We estimate that around 10,000 strong men from the Stone Village will abandon the village and try to attack our allies. These shinobis are likely to attack the Sand Village as soon as they settle down. Our allies, the river, grass, tea and the hill, are also gonna face organized hits as well. And also Kumo, given the Raikage's numbers, we can estimate that we will receive hits from all over. But they wouldn't stand against you, Majesty, as if you join the battlefield, I am sure that they will retreat. Gaara gritted his teeth, as this was troublesome, as they have tried their best, trying to get Konoha, Kumo, and the Stone Village to create a treaty between all of them and stop all this madness, but they still won't listen. What of Konoha? Gaara asks. Konoha is likely going to stay neutral in the beginning of things, but they will send their heavy hitters When the war reached its peak, said Heisuke. Naruto then spoke. The reason I call you all here is because I want to discuss how you will fight. And I wish to inform all of you something that I have been doing over the past 2 years. Naruto then paused. As he then spoke, in all of the elemental nations, I have been planting special trees that will consume chakra from shinobi. These trees are sentimental and they will manage chakra around the nation, and they will absorb the chakra of the shinobis, turning them into civilians. And after the war, I will become the emperor of the elemental nations. That is if the idea is still appealing to me. Heisuke, tell them about the other news. As he then vanished. As everyone then turned to Heisuke, Heisuke then spoke. The other matter is, my majesty want me to inform you all that there will be a first princess, Etsu Uzumaki, born from Samui. As the revelation, everyone went silent. I am sorry, what? Temari said, as she was shocked as she couldn't believe it. His majesty is a father, Kodoro said. As Gaara then spoke something that would normally come from me. Well, I believe this is something to celebrate. Neo nodded. I agree with the Kazekage, but we must first finish the business at hand. And he then spoke. Is it just me, or is the majesty going to eradicate shinobi? As everyone just looked at him, as they remember what Naruto said about the trees. As Mei was silent through this all. At Konoha, Naruto gently came into the center of the village as he gracefully landed. As it didn't take a minute for people to notice him, as they stay away from him, them remembering what happened the last time. But Naruto just took in a deep breath. This was the village that he created. Guess I should remove the remaining barriers that I put up. As Anvu surrounded him, but they didn't get too close. Naruto then stamped his feet on the ground, but nothing happened to the naked eye. Well, this is a surprise, Sasuke said as he stepped into view. With your recent activities in the stone village, I would imagine that you would be home planning defensive strategies. Naruto didn't respond to Sasuke, as it has been 2 years since he destroyed Konoha. He was still looking up at the heavens. Sasuke frowned as Naruto didn't respond to him. Emperor, Sasuke said. Huh? As Naruto turned his face to Sasuke. It is wise that you don't stay on the streets. We won't want to cause panic. As Sasuke walked over to him and was about to place a hand on his shoulder, but something stopped him. He didn't know what it was. Something was different with Naruto. Naruto then disappeared as he appeared on top of the Hokage's tower. A minute passed as Kakashi, the new Hokage, appeared with Jiraiya and Sasuke and a few Anvus. You have certainly grown this village into a pleasant shape, Hokage, Naruto said in a mutual tone, as they were surprised the way he called Kakashi Hokage, as they thought he would have just called him Kakashi. Well, it wasn't in a bad shape when you left it, Kakashi said. The morale was though, and the people fierce, but we managed to get things up in a few months. As Naruto looked down at the streets, Obito must be finding the place unpleasant, he said. As Kakashi didn't comment on that. If I may be bold, what brings you here, Emperor? Kakashi asked. Sightseeing, Naruto said. But a war is coming as well. But I imagine that Sasuke and Obito Susanoo will be on guard to protect this village. I also came here to remove a certain barrier that I placed it, and return a certain dog. As he snapped his finger and a portal opened, as Kiba fell out, as he was tied up. Kakashi quickly ordered the Anvu to take Kiba away from the place before he does anything stupid. Kakashi, I'll see you soon, said Naruto, as he then vanished. As those words made Kakashi think about what he just said. See you soon. So Naruto is going to come to the cage meeting. Damn it, Kakashi cursed in his mind. Later that day, I thought you would have been gone by now. After all, you still have Kiri to rule, said Naruto as he saw Mei sitting alone. Are you that tired of my presence that you want to see me gone already? She asked. Not at all, said Naruto as he sat down. This is my home as well. Ayo can look after things in my absence, and it isn't like I have to defend my village against an invasion. Samui then walked in as she smiled at Naruto and at Mei, as Mei was cursing in her mind as Samui sat down beside Naruto as she placed a hand on his shoulder. So, how did it go at Konoha? She asked. Nothing unexpected happened. I didn't get to talk to Obito though, he responded. Did they finish their jobs? Samui shook her head. No, it should take a few days before everything is completed. And I doubt that getting Guren to leave her palace will be an easy thing. But it is safe that she stays here until she is ready to do her duties as Prime Minister again. Besides, I have gone through what she's going through. I can offer emotional support. You offer someone emotional support? As Naruto looked amused by the idea, motherhood does work wonders. Mei then cleared her throat. If you have forgotten, I am still here, and there is important things that we need to discuss. Days later, at the Iron Country, currently Kakashi and A were speaking before they start the meeting, as A told Kakashi that he didn't trust the rest of them, he could only trust him. So, what is it that you want to speak to me about? Kakashi asks. What would you do if I told you that Naruto is trying to rule over the elemental nations? You mean become a tyrant? Kakashi asks. Exactly that, said A. He's already married the Mizukage, and he keeps the Kazekage close, and I bet he have some new influence over on his granddaughter since she took over. Kakashi shook his head. That doesn't sound like him at all. He knows the Emperor, and he isn't someone who seeks that kind of path. A simply scoffed. On the other hand, I need you in the war. I need your firepower to deal with the Emperor. Naturally, you won't be able to sit and just play the neutral card. Whether you like it or not, you're going to be dragged into the war, said the Raikage, as he then walked off. As Kakashi realized that A just threatened him, telling him that he cannot play the neutral card, that means he must enter this war. Minutes later, all of the Kages were in the room, along with Mifune, as it was Gaara, Mei, Kurosaki, Kakashi, and A the Raikage, as Obito and Sasuke were behind Kakashi. Mifune then spoke. I would rather that the meeting go as usual as the former meetings. Now then, Raikage, will you state the reason why you call this meeting? Uchiha Naruto is a dangerous existence that has disturbed the balance of power around the elemental nations. We are facing war because of him. One of his major crimes was stealing our bijus. No one knows where they are. He probably sealed them into himself. So, the Emperor is a poison that we have to deal with. Do you have another reason? It is no secret that you hate the Emperor, but he hasn't sent any threat towards your village, Mei stated. He recently attacked the Stone Village and killed a Kage. He had a reason to attack the Stone Village, especially after what Oniki did, Mei said. I am not surprised that you defend him, A stated. You're his whore after all. It isn't very nice to call a man's wife a whore, said a voice, as everyone quickly spun around to see Naruto sitting down on the higher platform as he calmly floated down to the ground. As Naruto's sharingan switched to the Rinnegan, as Daruya and C jumped in front of the Raikage, but they were smashed to the table with an invisible force. The Raikage stood to his feet as something wrapped around his neck. He couldn't see what it was, as he was being lifted into the air Apologize, said Naruto. Sasuke narrowed his eyes. Even his eternal Monkey Sharingan couldn't see what was lifting up the cage, but he had a good idea what it was. It was a Shadow Naruto. Madara used them in their battle, and Naruto said that he could use them, but he never did. A was choking as he refused to apologize, but he was saved by Mifune. Emperor, I prefer that the violence do not escalate any further. I guess your apology can come at a later date, Naruto said, as the tenseness in the area disappeared and the Raikage was released. What is your meaning of showing up for this meeting? Mifune asked. You can no longer say that the 5 countries are dominating the shinobi world. My country is superior to you all, so I deserve to be at this meeting. Besides, who amongst you can say that you're stronger than the Emperor? So, here's my plan. You always submit to me, and I will stand as the ruler of the elemental nations. As we speak, all of the feudal lords are being sent to the next world. What? Said A, as he didn't really care about the daimyos, but Naruto making a move against them was not acceptable. Isn't it considered wrong killing people that has nothing to do with your war? Kakashi asks. No, it is for the greater good. I wouldn't have them killed if they had just surrendered their lands, Naruto said. Well then, continue as you were, he said, as he disappeared after saying those words. Kurosaki could only stare at the empty place that he was, as she wouldn't sit down and kiss his behind, making him be boss of all the elemental nations. She wouldn't stand for that. The Stone Village wouldn't forgive her, and she would be deemed as not a worthy Kage if she let that man control the village that her grandfather fought so hard for, protecting for so many years, as her village was not in a state to fight, as more than 10,000 shinobis have left the village so they can start a war and kill the emperor, as she wished that the emperor would just die, because then everything would be back to normal. So, do you guys understand now? Said A. None of you want to be under that man's thumb, even the likes of you, he said, as he looked at Mei and Gaara. While Mei frowned, Gaara's expression didn't change, as Gaara didn't understand why Naruto suddenly brought up this. He wasn't power hungry, and he didn't even like to rule over his own empire. Gurren was the ruler, and he was just a person behind the scenes. Gaara then spoke. I won't take part in anything, he said. What? Said A. Are you going to support that man in his crusade? Gaara shook his head. No. I will, however, protect my village from any threats. But I don't support any idea of tyranny at any chance. But I will not allow my forces to go after the Emperor. My stance is with the Kazekage, Mei said. Are both of you blind? Is that man manipulating both of you to be puppets by a sharingan? A furious A said. Raikage, Mifune said. Settle down. Shouting isn't going to solve anything. They aren't being manipulated by the Emperor, Sasuke said with a shake of his head. Naruto's sharingan was capable of casting a powerful genjutsu, but he doesn't use that ability. They are just making choices that are good for their villages. No one asks your opinion, Uchiha. This is a cage meeting, so learn your place, boy, said A. Sasuke shrugged his shoulders. I was offering it. Nonetheless, you were accusing them of being manipulated. That is an insult to them as cages, and I truly hate it when the sharingan is being accused of false act. As a Uchiha, I cannot allow the Uchiha name to be dragged through the mud. A grunted as he looked at Kakashi. Control your dog, Hokage. Kakashi then spoke. It is his opinion to defend his clan's dojutsu. I am sure that you would defend your shinobi at a moment's thought. Once again, A growled. As he didn't respond, this time he turned to Gaara. Alright, If you're not going to help us with anything, then leave. Those who remain here will be allies. But know this, if you leave this place, you will be treated as an enemy. Thank you for the warning, Gaara said as he stood up. As Mei also stood up, and they left with their bodyguards. Once they were gone, A took charge again. How are we going to proceed with things? I say that we form an alliance. I cannot afford to join that, Kurosaki said, but I can give you location of the man that has run away with the army of 10,000 strong shinobis from the stone. That will do, said A. Hokage. Kakashi thought about it for a few moments. As he then stood up, my select shinobis will engage the Emperor, and the Emperor only. We won't be dragged in any useless battles. To the moon, Hagoromo frowned as Naruto appeared. His brother was here as well, as they were guarding the other half of Uchiha Naruto, as it would smell trouble if someone got their hands on the other half of the Emperor's power. Still, the only thing that could defeat Uchiha Naruto was Uchiha Naruto. As Naruto walked in the empty castle that his other half of power lay, there was a coffin that had half of his power sealed inside of it. It had no consciousness, just power. What do you want? Hagoromo asked. That isn't a nice way to treat me, said Naruto. But I was just bored, he said. Hagoromo didn't find that hard to believe. He thought that only a bloody battle could excite the man, and that alone. And without an opponent to challenge him, he had to be bored. I thought filling the world of the divine forest would be enough, said Hagoromo. Are you planning on using the eternal Tsukiyomi like what Madara wanted? You have set up preparations well, and you're just one step away from doing that. I have tempted to put the elemental nations under the Tsukiyomi. I was just curious. Haven't you been curious? Have you not? Have you not thinking about standing above humans and wondering what their dreams of a perfect world is? No, said Hagoromo. Of course you've not. You're not like your mother. And besides, my Rinnegan is normal. Performing the eternal Tsukiyomi would require my third eye. And my third eye is not a part of me right now. It is in that seal, Naruto said, as he pointed at the coffin. You came here for it then? Hagoromo asked. No, I don't need to go that far to destroy the elemental nations. I just came here because I was bored, and you always manage to entertain me. So, doing all of this, killing the daimyos, and telling the Kages that you want to rule the elemental nations, it is just a way for you to get a kick out of everything. More or less, said Naruto. I am going to war, so why can't I get some humor out of the situation? Hagoromo shook his head. I thought having a child would change you a little, but it seems like it haven't. Hagoromo, do you not see the state of the world? Naruto asked. Don't use that card, said Hagoromo. So, you're going to use that card so you can make things go your way? Yes, said Naruto. Haven't I give the world a chance? But things won't change. They still want to go up against me, the Raikage, just because I possess power that none of them can have. Why don't you just die now? If you die, then no one will attack your kingdom. Peace will be brought. Naruto found Hagoromo's statement very amusing. No, at the moment I have no desire to do so. I grew up without a father. I do not wish my child to grow up that way as well. At least if I can be there for her until she's old enough to understand things, then I can watch from afar. Say, Hagoromo, what if I gave your bones flesh and put in your spirit? Then we can have an excited dance. Before Hagoromo could say anything, Hamura appeared on the other side. Emperor, you surely like to amuse yourself with my brother. Were you just waiting for the right moment to appear? Hagoromo asked his brother. It was funny just watching the both of you. The Emperor is here because he has no one to talk with. Said Hagoromo. Zetsu is no more, so he has no one to talk to about his secrets. None of the humans that he trusts know about this place. Naturally, he needs someone to talk to tell that he lied about creating the divine trees to suck out chakra from bad people. The divine tree will suck out chakra from everyone bad, but that isn't the main purpose. While on his throne, he can control all the trees, and he can use them to wipe out army if the war take too long, or if he get bored. Isn't that right, Emperor? Hamura asks. Naruto smiled a little. Your brother understands me better, he said to Hagoromo. That is of no consequence to me, said Hagoromo. I thought you would have told that woman everything. Isn't she the one you trust the most? True, but knowing everything isn't good for a normal person. Now, I am curious, if the three of us take place in a battle, who do you think would win? Naruto asks. You wouldn't win against brother and I, said Hamura. At the Rain Village, Obito, said Nagato, as he saw his former comrade enter his office. What do you want? Make it quick. There is no need to be hostile, Nagato, said Obito. I said make it quick. I have a proposal for you, said Obito. What makes you think that I would listen to what you have to say? Nagato asks. And the Emperor will be displeased to know that you're trying something. He doesn't know that I'm here. Nobody does. And I would like for it to be that way, Obito said. Years ago, I was on a wrong path, trying to achieve someone else's dream. Spare me the details. I already know your story, Nagato said, cutting off Obito. Alright, you want to achieve peace, don't you? Obito asks. I can offer you my help. Perhaps it will help you get through peace. And how would you let me achieve peace? Nagato asks. Well, just listen and you will find out. But guys, let me end this episode right here. If you want to see the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember to share to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also go ahead and check out What If Tsunade Was Naruto's Mother. I post a new episode of that. And I also post a new episode of What If Kurama gave Naruto a dojutsu. So go ahead and check out that and enjoy. And I am also going to be posting Naruto, the God of Shinobi. So stay in tune for that and thank you all for your support and help. But for now, I'm out. Peace.